Hi, welcome back to the discussion on your film. Sir, let me know what has been the response till now, because the 20th was the deadline.
Yeah.
I think it's been a little bit while, and I think the team has filtered and gone through the whole material.
No, the filtration process is not completely done, but I'm very overwhelmed and very happy with the response because it worked on counts other than what I actually thought. Why it should work or why I hoped it will work. It worked on multiple levels, which was beyond my understanding. To give an example, let us say for the submission for the director's test, we got more than nearly 150 or so. Yeah, yeah. And out of which we managed to almost not like a perfect number, but I would say 20 are good, very good in the range. And then second thing is maybe eventually I might put 10 or 12 for the voting purpose in the 20 again to shortlist. But what was incredible for me, see, I gave the content in a written text or whatever. Most of them didn't follow, but that is also going by the brief. I said you don't need to exactly follow as long as the content is there. So I was zapped with the interpretations they had of the. I mean, I wouldn't have ever thought this can be interpreted like this, or something else. And so you get a what do you call in terms of it reflects the sensibility of the person who's done. It tries to build in layers which are not existent in the given script.
Okay.
Without disturbing it, adding some little preamble or something little post or in the dialogue, trying to give a dimension and a depth which is probably not there. I never thought it is there also in the content I wrote. So to that extent, I'm extremely happy. And one more thing, what it does is because it's in the public domain, it is open for everyone, to see that what kind of a talent these guys have who shot it. Third thing is, I mean, your film could be for the voting process, but I might like someone on a personal level more, and I might be giving him some other film, which is out of the context of realm of your film.
It still helps in showcasing your work to you
Yeah,
directly.
yeah. So this is one part. Another part is there's one particular film which was shot so tackily. It's one of the worst things I saw. But the way that guy wrote the dialogue is brilliant.
Okay.
So which means he's a dialogue writer, but he's very bad in execution of the thing. So I called him personally and I asked him to come to meet me, and I gave him some other film to write dialogue. So that will not appear in the final list of voting process. But he got some other job in the process of doing whatever he tried to do, something else worked. Which is the same thing with actresses. One actress, I found her so good, but I didn't think the film was good.
So it's from the direction submission, not the
Yeah,
actor
yeah,
submission.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. It came from there. So I realized it is an actress's ability, and not because the intelligence the actor is showing, he's not showing in the rest of the cast, neither in the way it is being made. So out of my experience, I can figure out and pluck out what is the best part of that. Yeah. So this is something I did not foresee happening when I actually thought of the concept. Yeah.
So last time, if you remember, I told maybe people who have access to better actor might the video might come out like they have done.
You're right.
Better.
You're right. But the only thing is, what I thought is also the onus is on the director to find that actor, which is the reason we gave such a long time. It's not like it was done in a hurry or anything. And if you don't find an actor, you should not submit, because the whole idea is to impress.
Right.
Whether even for the people who are going to vote is to create an impression. Now you can't say I didn't find actors or didn't find that. That is not an excuse.
So hustling is also part of the requirement.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, the director mostly hustles only.
So what do you think? For example, the actress, like you found that her performance, her looks, and everything was standing out, which was not visible in the remaining cast members. So where do you think the director missed in getting those performances out of other people?
See, I think him not having a clarity. Yeah. So what the actress, she's so good, so she naturally picked it up from the script itself, what has been given to her. Many times, even mainstream actors, why they're so good is because they have the ability to do it with or without the director. Even yesteryear actors like Rao Gopal and all that, I heard that they write the lines themselves and they perform. The director doesn't know also what's happening there. Yeah.
As you said, maybe you liked someone and they might not be part of the final submission, but because you like them, they're getting some chance in some other project of yours or be part of that. So can we like maybe do like a small compilation or like a show reel or like showcase element where you put out, okay, maybe not all the submissions, but as you said, you have like roughly 20 people shortlisted and you'll put 10 12 for the public to vote. Maybe can you put a showcase so that other people in the industry can see, maybe they like something and they
Yeah,
might
no,
place
no.
something
I
in
mean,
them,
see,
no?
that's what I'm saying. See, my point is that we welcome because it. See, I might not put everything because a lot of them are trash. Absolutely. Yeah. So what I think are the best. Let us say, maybe it could be 20 or something. The voting process also, I don't want too many because it will create a fatigue to see so many, and then they will also be confused because, like when I showed just at random to some people I know. One guy said, I like the performances in this. I like the way the director shot in that. I like something else. They're liking various facets, which is understandable. But then eventually you have to figure out, you have to vote only for one, whoever they like the best, that is. You know. So I think the more you keep, it becomes difficult for them to.
Oh, yeah, obviously they'll lose objectivity. They'll also get saturation fatigue, and they might not be, have clarity on what to vote for, what to look for in the content that they feel worthy. This should be selected. They lose objectivity on that. So eventually, what is? I think I remember in the website it was mentioned 7 people will be shortlisted. But are you flexible on that number?
I mean, I meant it as just a kind of an experiment, but I mean, as directors, I am very, very, because of the tremendous response we got, I would like to at least put some 12 to 15 out there. Yeah.
But there will be directly selected by the audience itself. There is no
The decision of whom to take will be done.
right.
But like I said, I want to take many of them in various other things, other jobs.
Because last time we spoke, you spoke something about going through a multifold process for the actor selection. So because of the response, are you considering something similar for the directors as well? Maybe, or do you want to go with a multifold process, or do you want to just put the material out there and let the audience decide directly?
See, but I'm saying my decision is separate and your film as a concept is separate.
Right, right. Okay. So, like you got around 150 plus something for the directors. But actors are, they generally apply more because a lot of people.
But
It's just
actors, surprisingly, I was like, it is, I mean, more than 1,000 came, I think.
both male and female.
Yeah, more male, females also, but they're pretty bad, most of them. Because I think what I realized that anybody wants to be an actor, he sees himself in the mirror. I have no idea what they think because the direction or music director, there's a thought process involved, there's an effort involved. So obviously, yeah, skill set, yeah, you have to put an effort. Just to put a picture, whatever is available to you, there just for the sake of it. So in that 1,000, I would think more than 950 are just absolute. Yeah.
So, even in the disqualified ones, I just want to know out of my curiosity, did the intense expression which you gave as the keyword, did they at least some of them
Yes, there
attempt to do
are.
it?
See, I don't know if they would work on the main lead of the thing, but many interesting faces I got which I shortlisted, which I can cast in other films, in other
Like a
roles.
supporting
Yeah, yeah,
character or
like
something.
supporting characters. Yeah.
Of the shortlisted people, or at least what you are considering, initially the thought was around to get 20 or something male and 20 or something female actress. You're supposed to filter. I was very curious last time also, and I'm curious till now, like what has been the turnaround of the qualified submissions of the female actors.
See, as of now, because I just kind of extended the actors a little, but I do not believe that really. So what I would like to do, I mean, eventually the main thing is the decision of the who they decide. So I probably might take some pictures from casting agents also. See, eventually the point is the decision maker is audience. And they should not be already well known because if they're well known, it will tip the balance because of the familiarity.
Okay. But male has been overwhelming response. Okay.
Numbers wise.
Yeah, numbers wise only. Quality we can't guarantee anything. It's just up to the audience then. So both male and female you want to consider getting from the casting directors too?
I want to be open to that. Yeah.
Okay. Apart from casting directors, any other channel of reference or something you are
I
considering?
mean, it can come from me from anywhere. Yeah, absolutely. That is, there is no bar that it has to come only through this kind of. Whoever, if suppose suddenly someone finds me a picture, and I would put it forward to the RGV DEN team to include that in that. Yeah.
So submission process can be multifold also, apart from the selection process. So what about the music, sir? Because last time you made me hear a tune, I was very...
Music, I'm extremely happy. Music, I would say that even I didn't expect that many people. I mean, I shortlisted nearly 18 potential music directors. All of them have very different styles.
And the process is still not complete. Okay.
And the feel, the feel I hear in their voice, and the fact that, I mean, some of them have done the music, singing, and lyric also with themselves, yeah.
Okay. So, for this, do you feel, whatever submissions came, apart from the tonality or the, music sense or like the rhythm or whatever, the quality of the sound is also very good, whatever submissions
I
came?
won't say that. I say, but that's because see, they're working with the minimum instruments what they have. There's no studio, and I very specifically mentioned I'm not going to judge you for production values. It has the core of it, the melody and the tone, or whatever. To see the newness and something very unique to them. It should not sound like I'm copying that kind of a style because it's working. Then it becomes gumplo goinda. So those kind of things.
As I said last time, we might have the analysis like how you could see one good performance out of 10 shabby performance and be, analytical and pick that, oh, this is something worthy of, do you think audience will have that with the music as well because of the quality? Do you think they'll be able to judge?
But my point is, I am not pitching the comparison to very well done program songs which other music directors do. They have to make a choice within this, within what is available. So if that is a choice they have, then it's a level playing field. Even if they don't know, for example, let us say, somebody maybe he's just a composer. He can do a tune. He can't play an instrument, or he doesn't have access to a programmer. So it will be just bare thing. But when the brilliance is there, even when somebody just sings also, you will find it brilliant. You don't need to really hear it to the whole orchestra to judge a person's caliber. Yeah.
Okay. So what about other departments, let's say cinematography? What has been the response
See,
of that?
cinematography also I'm not very happy because actually something which I did earlier, a few months back, that had better turnout. See, I gave them a
Volume or
task.
quality?
Quality and volume also. If to shoot a girl after she gets up and goes to the office, maybe they didn't have the access to do. In fact, you pointed out at that time to me. So I was very surprised because I've got a very good response when I asked them to do a few subjects I gave to shoot a tree, a close up of a face, or a vehicle, or the X and Y. That I got a very good response. So I want to redo that and send it again for the cinematography aspect because whatever they shot also is looking very, very tacky. And also clearly mentioned the uniqueness of angles and compositions and to bring a story in how the camera is watching. That didn't seem to understand that.
I'll tell you where that question came from. I think Prema movie, Malayalam movie, which was like big blockbuster. That movie has a very unique perspective of camera movements and visuals. What the director did then was he kind of mimicked the camera movements as a butterfly movements, which is part of his storytelling aspect. A lot of Tamil, reviewers or those associations, they scrapped it down as like tacky filmmaking, but it ended up like being, the one of the biggest blockbusters, got a lot of awards and everything. So that unique perspective came from a director's perspective and the storytelling perspective. When a cinematographer is just given something vague, as I said last time, they might not have access to the good-looking women around them or some other resources or the timing or whatever it is there. So maybe let's try giving something completely contrasting. Let's say ask them to do a horror scene, or let's ask them to do something of action scene or something where you can test out the other spectrum of their skill
See,
set.
my intention is to show something is very different the way you show it. Now, the way you show it, one is there's a lighting aspect, yeah. One is maybe the camera movement, or there is certain specific subject how you are capturing in your own very unique vision is what which tells me something about the man, how he wants to see something, you know. So that aspect of it, but it worked in the earlier tests. Now the context is whether if I'm trying to tell a story of a girl getting up and going, maybe the cameraman is not able to look at the story because that is actually a director's job. It's not a cinematographer's job. Maybe that's the flaw. Yes, which was not there in the initial brief. Yeah.
So maybe you can directly give them a specific composition and see who can do it better, because that kind of
Yeah,
again
and
levels the playing
actually you're
field.
right. I mean, I think I need to redo that same thing and I'll put it there. Yeah.
What about the writing part, sir? How's the response
Writing
been?
is extraordinary. I mean, there's so many number of things in terms of probably more than 500, I think. Yeah. After actors, writers are the maximum. Yeah. But that also could be because they can just sit down and write. It's not like, a director has to work so much. Yeah.
So, but what has been like the filtering ratio, sir, out of 500?
Yeah. Actually, I'm still going through the writings. I have not yet zeroed in on that. Yeah.
Okay, but have you like got decent, like more than 10 something that you're a decent good, sir?
Much more than that. Yeah.
Okay, so now what's the next step going to be, sir? Like, what's the
So
next
the next
deadline for
step,
the
what
cinematographer?
I'm basically thinking is, I definitely believe I need to get the cinematographers more, even the actors also. But I want to start off with the directors. We don't need to put all of them at the same stuff. I want to put directors and music directors because both of them I have. Yeah, I have enough to start the voting process. Then we'll put the cinematographers whenever we're ready with that. You know. Likewise, now once the music director is done, the selected music director, what he composes, that I will put as a test for the lyric writers. Yeah, the tune is being done by him, and then we put it out for test to ask for lyric writers to write a lyrics for that tune. Yeah, that was not the plan because lyric writers independently. I said I won't add that. Yeah,
Now, like, you want the lyricist also to come from the public voting, or
from the public. Yeah.
okay, so cinematographers and lyric writers will be another round or next deadline ish.
Yeah, you will start right now. Yeah.
So they can like maybe when can they expect the update on that in the website or something within this
I
week?
mean, not more than a week or 10 days uppermost. Because the moment I put this out, I can start with that.
Right. So actress, you said the response has been very like in terms of volume, but you wanna still go through that again one more time. What do you think has missed in the first one, so that at least people who are submitting now, they can keep in mind when they're submitting again? Like at least maybe they didn't follow the
See,
rules properly.
basically, I was very keen that the expression on the actor's face, the fact that it's a lead pair of a girl and guy in love, and they have to cater to whether minimum height and X and Y, but nobody, they neither, or they put multiple photos, which didn't make sense. So most of them were rejected on that. So they're not following the thing, which will make it simpler for us to come to the point. Yeah.
I've noticed this in other actors who are, I generally tend to meet outside also. They're like, they'll try to, position themselves with whatever they have rather than what the
Person asking.
casting director or the directors or the production house what they
It's a
call
very
for.
interesting anecdote, I'll tell you. My assistant for Shiva, some guy came and some actor, he came and showed a bunch of photos. Okay. So my assistant told him, just remember this, always show what you think is the best photo, show only one. Okay. That's why that is because if you give him a bunch of photos, the director, they'll see the photos, he won't look at you. But if you give one photo, then he'll see the photo and he will look at you. Which I think there's a truth in that, actually. But actors, because they're so self-centered, which is one of the main things why they want to become an actor, they want to show off their memory in every angle, this and that, and But I remember when in Bombay, once the old times. I'm saying now because of WhatsApp, they keep sending here. They used to get these albums, and if I'm turning the things faster, they used to get upset because I'm not looking at this properly.
That is very expected of them. But I've seen the contrary as well. They're like, they have like 4 or 5 very badly taken pictures. I just suggest them, at least take 2 good photos so that, you can forward it in WhatsApp or in mail or something. They're like, no, this is what I have, you select based on this. What? You have to cater to the other person's
There's also
perspective.
the lack of brains, man. See, eventually, you are selling a visual. I mean, you are a visual, and it's audio-visual medium, and the actor is the main thing on the screen. And if you do not have the common sense to present yourself, well, so what are you doing here?
Surprisingly, they're actually really good looking people. But
Yeah, they do. That's the
present
lack of brains. That's the whole point. So many beautiful women I meet, and they don't have an iota of what kind of pictures they can.
So, when like, what kind of do you want to change the brief, sir, again for maybe the next round of actor submissions?
I definitely, I mean, sir, beyond this, I don't know what else to say. I was thinking maybe I should bypass the photos look and only go for audition.
I think that's a good
I
idea,
think
sir,
that's a good
because
idea because, yeah, if I'm asking them to say this one particular dialogue in this kind of a tone or whatever, and then we can do both of them at the same time. So anyway, you can see the face for the look, and you can also see the acting capacity. I think that is a modification I should do.
because it also helps for the audience also to select like they're good looking, but
Otherwise, yeah, you're absolutely right. This is the right thing. I'll modify this immediately. Yeah.
but at the same time they can't be doing 5-10 minute long lengthy.
No, we'll give them like a 30-second, 20-second, something like that. Yeah.
I think 1 minute is fine.
Yeah,
Maybe they
minute
can.
also is too much. Yeah. But of course, see, the moment you start on itself, you know how good he is. Yeah. Yeah, 1 minute also is okay, actually.
I have a small suggestion here, sir. Try giving a scene where instead of going through like one mood or expression or emotion that they're carrying, see if they can do a transformative, like they're jumping genre or jumping emotion, so that maybe you can at least see the spectrum within that conversation.
I don't think so. I'll tell you why. Because I think that is what which has worked in the direction submissions, because they're doing the same thing, and to see the number of ways it can be done is what is actually going to make you believe the people are running. All of them are running. Who comes first is the point. One guy is jumping, one guy is crawling. It is not the same. So I feel we should specify to the extent, like show anger, or show something, or helplessness, something like that we should specify.
How about so again, okay, let's say you are giving them an audition sample option or something. I think it is better if you put some guidelines in terms of what type of submission is there, much clearer this time, because if they are not able to send 2 photos properly, then
Now I
videos
think
they
this
might send
audition
random
thing
stuff.
will definitely take care of it, I think. Yeah. And like you said, it's also easy for the audience to make out who's good. Yeah.
But again, as you said, you're also considering other options and casting directors and everything. I think the second fold process might have much better turnaround or a more quality turnaround. What do you think? The writers and directors or music directors, they're able to follow the brief much to the point, and not the other departments. Why do you think there
I
is
would like to believe this, that in terms of I mean, by nature itself, they need to be intelligent, because they're analyzing, they're putting things together, they're planning, they're getting people to work for them. You need certain skills for that, social skills and all that. And I think it is that. So, not to say that there are very bad things in that also, but remarkable number which I didn't expect.
comparatively?
Yeah, comparatively.
Okay. So you said the 6 months is going to be the deadline for once the final
once the
things are.
final things are, yeah, fine, yeah, correct.
So I think you're also trying to figure out certain things because of the reaction of the process. What do you think has been the biggest takeaway, or what, like expectations versus reality? what was your main expectation? What do you think was like the completely contrary reaction that you've seen with the submissions?
I won't say contrary, but I would say that that was so unexpected for me. I mean, I didn't know that kind of a thing can be interpreted like that
Okay, within the context of
within
this.
the context of the scene.
Okay.
See, for example, if I wrote a scene, one guy sent a scene, like the test, I meant it as in an underworld gang. It is trying to recruit a new person, and to test whether he's got the, stomach for it, or he has got the capacity for that. Is a test. It is called a test. One submission I got, it started in a kitchen with this woman cooking, and this home scene, absolutely with no connection, and he says he's going to the office, and the next cut is the way it happens, like I wrote happens,
Right.
and this guy is these guys killed, and when then they show the face, it is that guy, the first scene guy who said he's going to the office.
Okay.
So maybe this guy meant it, he's also a normal person. He told the wife, which is not in the context. But it's an interesting thing as a thought.
Right. So that
I mean, this is not a film. This is not a film. But he added a dimension which I did not expect.
Right. So that prologue added a certain newness and certain values.
So basically, what happened is, now if that was not there, I would have thought he's some guy and was just shot. There was no character, nothing. But having a 1 minute scene with him and his wife, which has no connection to the story, it surprised me. That's what I'm saying. Lot of things surprised me
Okay.
in the thing, because I didn't know where it was going, where it will end. None of them, interestingly, followed my brief exactly.
So, who do you think was the closest to your brief, and did you like that person's submission?
I mean, I don't know the name right now, but I'm saying I won't close this, because after the first 2, 3, I myself forgot what I wrote. That's what happened. You know.
But I think that serves the process well, because now the audience, it doesn't matter, because who you are the one who gave the brief, and after 2, 3 submissions, even you forgot what the brief was. Yeah. The audience will also just completely judge based on the submission.
Correct. So now I also, after seeing all of them, if you ask me who I will pick, I'm not very sure I can do that actually. I'm also confused. Because just from my director's friends, I sent 3 or 4 different submissions just for the reaction. All of them selected 4 different.
Okay.
Yeah.
There was no overlap.
There was no nobody saying one guy may say one thing liked by everyone. No. So that's interesting, which means they're all either equally good or equally bad, one of the two.
Now that the audience has to decide.
Yeah.
Okay. So last time I think we had the same confusion. Like eventually, based on this process, because you said the response has been very contrasting, or very different from what your expectations are. Do you think? I think last time I had a concern, like, will the team be able to work together? I think now it is more solidifying that maybe there will be creative differences between such contrasting ideas.
Not at all, because in any source, whether it's your film or not, whatever, the moment the director is chosen, he becomes the captain of the ship. Right. Okay. Now, in the very context, the actor has to be selected by the audience. Right. The music director has to be selected by the audience. Right. Even before we take him, we say that is a basic thing. Like a producer can say, I'll make the film only with this actor. Okay. That happens all the time. Okay, because he's a new guy. But what he does with them, what kind of thing works he takes out of them, will be left to him.
Okay. Yeah. I have a deeper doubt in this. So, what I've seen in general, otherwise outside also, is actors' performance and reactions or expressions, emotions, whatever is there, is completely correlated to what the director briefs them and how he gets that performance out of them.
Correct.
So when you give them a scene, as you said, you're going to be implementing that and asking them to send a 30-second or 1 minute performance, that will be their interpretation and what they think is good, or okay, we performed so well. And there is a 2-step problem in this. One, they might do 10-20 takes at their home at their leisure. They might select whichever is the best one and they might send it. That might be good or not is a different thing. At the same time, they are doing their own perspective of what they think is correct. What happens in on-ground shooting location is the director might not get the type of performance that the audience selected in the second or third take. If the actor is taking 20-30 takes, then it's going to be problem down the line.
I really don't think so.
No?
See, my point is, most of the time, I do casting in the last 10 years or 15 years based on just an WhatsApp audition thing. I never look at anything. And if a person can do it, he can do it. And then directly based on the brief, also you can do it. It's not as if you only practice that and you can't do rest of it. That doesn't work. That doesn't happen like that. I'm very
But
convinced.
we've heard a lot of stories where the director was not able to get the performance, or actor was not, delivering what the director wants, right?
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Now I don't know on what basis he was chosen. If you're choosing him on the basis of what he managed, what he showed, and was liked, and that guy can do anything what you require. I'm sure about it.
Okay. So just like how you thought, you should add lyrics to the selection process, are you thinking of any other departments that you feel maybe like editing or something?
No, not editing. See, because editing eventually is a function of how the director shoots and how he envisions it. So I would take it in his department. Yeah.
So any other department you are
Because
considering
editing, a
in
lot of,
adding?
see, what the audience perceive are only cinematography, acting, directing, music, and something like that, lyrics. Editing and all that they won't understand. Editing, sound design, all that is not something which an average man can understand.
I genuinely believe that the quality of the film, uh, a significant volume of it comes from production design and art department. But that selection process again is now completely in the director's hand. So let's say he's good with getting the performance out of the actors and everything, but he's not able to translate the scene the way adds quality to the sequence or the frame or
I mean, the
anything.
director cannot. Yeah.
So how can we judge?
No, I don't believe that, because see, the point for me is, see, director is not a primary artist in the sense of the word. No, he's basically someone is writing dialogue, somebody is writing acting, somebody is photographing, somebody is music. All these he's amalgamating them into a coherent whole, out of which even these departments, editors, production designers also come in that. He might not have that, but if he's not able to tell what he wants, like when became a director in Shiva without any experience, my skill was to be able to tell what I want. I don't need to know how to get that. And production designing, testing is difficult because that's in the overall scene. Before it is shot, you can't see a picture and things talk about production design. Yeah. And also it needs a certain experience in the way they deal with the, what do you call, art director, the assistants. It needs a certain practical training. It is not just like a mind thing.
Just like how stunts is.
Yeah, yeah,
like you
yeah,
can't,
correct, of course, yeah, correct.
It's a
See,
very trained thing. It's designed certain way.
correct,
You can only judge it based on eventually how it is
correct,
processed.
correct.
Okay. Sir, I had a question that I wanted to ask for the follow-up from the last time. Did you get more Hrithik Roshan type of submissions or more Nawaz type of submissions?
More Nawaz. Yeah. Because in the world, more bad-looking people are there. I mean, that itself is the point. Yeah.
What do you think the music directors, whatever, like without any instruments and, without any resources, when they are, humming or singing or presenting their music, they are able to communicate their talent in a very fresh manner. But I felt that it's not the case with other departments. Where do you think this lack of perspective
Other
comes
departments meaning?
from? It can be writing or actors or any other
See,
department.
writing also, I gave a brief of just to give me a short synopsis of what came an idea. So that's about it. You know? Because then after that, the dialogue writing is very specific, the director's sensibility. That I did not want to put it out to test.
So, did did they follow the word count limit or the brief?
They did. Most of them
Most
did.
of them did.
Yeah, yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah, most of them did that.
Okay.
While you're on music, I just wanted to play. Uh, I'll play example two. One with bare voice, and one is with a
Tools.
Yeah, tools. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, now this is one. I told the theme is butterfly. That's the whole point. Okay, now just listen to this. Now this is done with absolutely no, I mean, instruments here. సీతాకోకనై ఉండాలనుంది ఒక్కరోజైనా తేలే ప్రాణమై ఎగరాలనుంది ఒక్కసారైనా ఆపేవాళ్ళు వద్దే ఎంత పొద్దైనా చూసే కళ్ళ నిండా వింత నిండేనా రావే రావే. See, and why can't you judge this guy's talent without any instruments? You can see the reflecting and the feeling in his voice and everything. Yeah. Since this is just an idea which we started, we're also trying to understand the mistakes and how better it can be probably communicated and derived, and then what are the things. If, for example, let us say there are in the 20 things, 2 things I'm so impressed. I want to make a film with that guy, as a director. Now it is possible he might not be selected if I put in the test, but I'll still go ahead. So similarly, other film industry people, when they see based on their sensibilities, they might like something else for whatever the reasons are. Maybe it will be suiting for their film, whatever they're making. All of them are not making this film, no? So basically, for their film, they might think this guy's attitude is right. Like, the tackiest thing, what I found, I was zapped with the dialogue writing capacity, and I called him and already gave him another film.
For example, out of the
So I
situation,
asked him, how can you do it so bad when your writing skill is like this? He said, sir, no, I didn't have a cinematographer. I said, don't tell me that. I mean, that is the whole point of this.
that's the film part we spoke about.
Yeah.
Okay. But don't you think, like, maybe because you already working with something else, do you want to try, like, give him the tools that he said he's missing, like a
No,
cinematographer,
yes.
equipment? And
See, my point is, for example, what I made you hear now, even last time, I definitely want to do that.
so these people you want to experiment with on your own personal time.
Yeah.
Okay. So, so as I was telling something before, so whatever submissions come, let's say Shekhar Kamala sees it, he'll see the actor or the technician in his perspective of his storytelling aspect. He might like it. Boyapart might see it and see this doesn't work for him at all.
Yeah, correct.
And contrary is also
Yeah,
true.
yeah. So basically, based on this, what I want to put the RGV DEN music website where these things will be like a shop. Okay. So let us say if you go to a sweet shop, you eat a small piece, and if you like it, you'll ask for a kilo, 2 kilo, whatever. Right. So if I only put this, and if somebody likes it, and then he can commission him, right, and to make the full song.
Right. Just like how you are experimenting on your own time, they might experiment on their own time.
Yeah.
Okay. Now this is very interesting to see. The writing part, I had a doubt in terms of you gave a brief how.
See, the writing is also a little, I'm not sure it's vague, because I'll tell you, writing, one point is, one doesn't know to write a paragraph is different. To write a script, there's a function of timing also. How long does it take on things like that? And also, we can't give away too much in the context of the test, because that is what the film is. So I have my doubts about whether the writing will work as much.
No, my doubt is little bit more deeper in terms of the separation I am seeing in writing is the way you write the prose, how you are writing in terms of how the sentence formation is, how you are conveying your idea, and the other aspect is how unique your idea is. So you might have a very unique idea that a lot of people might find it very exciting, but when you are writing it in a very normal, like how 10th class kid writes. He came, he went, he sat, like that. But it's a simple idea, but if he writes in a very proper prose writing, now based on this, how can the judgment happen? Because it's the
That is
writing or the idea of writing.
See, I actually, what I put as in a synopsis, I actually asked, but I honestly believe that is not going to work at the end. One is the timing, how long does it take, and second is just to look at pointers whether you can, and the fact that you can't give away. And in fact, I have half a mind not to avoid writing in that.
Okay.
Actually,
Maybe can we try a different task that can cumulatively people might analyze and figure out, okay, this can be figured out something.
I mean, I'd rather want to trust the director on that.
Okay.
Yeah. Because if director has proved his credential the way he wrote the scene himself, in whatever submissions came, which is already working for me, then you might as well trust him to do that. Whether he does it or he wants to take somebody else.
That's the
Yeah.
same confusion I had the last time around,
Yeah,
because
no, yeah.
we were very confused in terms of
Because see, I also realized it because of the vast difference in their taking ability, taking manner. I think it's not fair to put on someone who probably might not suit his sensibility, because film writing is not writing a synopsis. It is about characters, how they speak, and the tone, and a lot of things. All that together cannot reflect in a synopsis or a
yeah, because for example, let's say we ask for them to write, okay, hero is proposing a heroine, write a scene or a synopsis, as you said. Now, how uniquely he is proposing is a different thing, and even if it is like a normal hero takes a flower, goes to her, tell I love you, the way you write it is very different. Now, director, what he wants can be completely different from what the director interpreted it as. So, but you did say that the writer will be selected from this process, so it
But
will be unfair.
I believe I'm going to cancel that.
Okay, but don't you think it's unfair for the people who submitted?
That's okay. They wrote half page, not even half page, man.
But the
200 words.
aspirations are real, no, sir.
That's okay. But I'm going to amend that. I have to make a difference out of that.
Okay, so maybe you can filter those, and
I mean,
as you
I'll
said,
have
like
to.
put that
I'll
as
have to
short.
further complicate the test. Maybe instead of a synopsis, I would rather them write a dialogue for a scene.
No, sir, I think it will again be a half-cooked thing. I think you should give them a wholesome task.
No, wholesome task cannot be voted, no, because then I have to give away so much of the thing. That is the whole point.
Maybe you can give something little bit away from the project, so that it doesn't affect the project.
See, that I think is yeah, complicated.
Okay. How about
But more than anything else, I have second thoughts on writing being putting the voting process. See, I might pick up some of them the way they wrote for other purposes. Because I think it's unfair to the director. Because any independent director will be a writer himself. You know? Yeah. So the way those guys write the dialogue, how they're making the film, the shots come from. So I think to put someone else on top of their head just because he's been voted, I don't see that
yeah, that's the concern I
happening.
had last time as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, correct.
Because see, directors, they have a very strong vision. How good, bad, ugly, whatever it is, they have a strong vision. Even if let's say a girl walks, he wants her to walk a certain way. No, you can't say
Correct, correct.
because
You're right.
audience selected,
That's
you
right.
have to,
That's
I'll
true.
walk the way I
Yes,
like. It
yes,
doesn't
yes.
make sense. Okay. So how about, like you said, you're going to put the submissions as like a type of shop type of or a selection process thing. They'll still have option for other people to see their work and filter something out of it. But I think how about, let's say, the top whatever director will be selected. Maybe you can ask the director himself to give a task so that he can
To the writer.
writer.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing.
Better that
Yeah,
way, no?
that's
Because
interesting.
you're going to start with the music and the directors before anyway, and you want
Yeah, I
to
know.
reiterate with
Yeah,
the
correct.
cinematographer another
Yeah,
aspect.
correct.
So let's say once the director is selected, let's get the director to give the task, then the judgment will become unanimous.
Yes, yes.
You
This is
can
nice.
have the
Can make a
audience
web
to,
of that. The music director can give a task to the lyric writer and things like that. Yeah.
because that's how the hierarchy works anyway. You can have the audience to voice out their opinion, but maybe it can be like a weightage basis. See, let's say if the director is liking certain um, writers thing, but the audience are selecting somebody else. Now at least you will have a clear perspective of what the director is missing maybe, or what the audience is missing, because the whole idea was filmmakers don't know what the audience want. That's why they are making bad films, or not the films that the audience are liking. So now we are come to a point where it's a very fine thread. If you stay back, that means you are sticking to the old filmmaking process.
Correct.
If you cross it, that means you are letting go of everything. So you have to first figure out the line, then you have to decide if you want to cross it or not. I think it can be figured out, sir. I think the process needs to take. Maybe we'll start
At least
experimenting.
as an experiment or start, I'm very happy. So let's see how much we can develop in the future.
But I think if you take the director's perspective, I think it kind of reduces the complexity of the selection process. Right now, what the immediate thing is going to be with the directors and the music directors. And writers and cinematographers will come later, and actors you want to give them even more.
Correct. I want to give a fresh brief.
Okay. So this is the 3-step plan of action. Within a week, they can expect something for the directors and the music directors.
Yes.
Further details for other departments will be explained later on. I think people got the next phase of what your film is going to be. Strong can be a feedback or a message to all the actors who submitted. Please follow the guidelines next time at least, so that, because majority of your submissions are
maybe it's my fault also that I was not so clearly mentioning, and also I think it was a mistake on my part to take the first phase as the looks of the actor, which actually doesn't make sense, because very good looking people also might become very bad actors. So what's the point in having that step itself? I think is wrong.
Because the whole concept of wooden face actor is interpreted in that. Maybe in the next phase, we can hope for better submissions and better actors to come out.
And I'm sure we'll get that.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.